Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, and welcome to the Amateur Otaku podcast. How is everybody doing out there? I am Brandon Alvarado, the Scarlet Fan here, and I am very excited to be here live talking anime with you guys. Thank you for joining us at the Amateur Otaku podcast. As usual, I am here ready to talk awesome anime, and not just any anime. We are here to talk Attack on Titan, the final season, which is, oh my God, it's been getting amazing in the anime and in the manga, and we can't wait to talk about it. And when I say that we can't wait to talk about it, it's because you guys know I cannot do this on my own. I am accompanied by the one, the only, the colossal armored friend, Isaac. What's up, man?
Avengers assemble.
What? Isaac, we're not going to start with manga spoilers. That's not what's happening today.
You didn't know that there is a one shot with Attack on Titans and Avengers?
Is that like in the
There's
Attack
an
on Titan
official
anthology?
one-shot crossover with.
Right, that's like in the special
No, it was
anthology.
I don't know where they put. Yes, there is. There is a crossover short with X-Men and Attack on Titan.
Interesting. Wait, but you said X-Men, but you just said Avengers Assemble. Why are you confusing me?
Avengers and I was if I said X-Men, I'm sorry. I was meaning Avengers.
Okay.
X-Men should do a crossover with My Hero Academia, but that's a story for another time.
That's like a one of those Marvel DC level crossovers. That is what that's going to look like when it actually happens, if it happens. But hey, Isaac, we're here.
Hey,
we're back.
If they can do a crossover with Attack on Titan, everything is possible.
True. There is truth in your statement, sir. There is definitely truth in your statement.
Everything is possible. Everything is also good and useful. And I don't remember the older Rex.
Isn't it supposed to be everything is awesome? Okay, so everything is awesome at the Amateur Otaku.
Everything is possible.
I see that. I see that we were just changing things. But Isaac, we're not here to talk Lego, okay? Even though it's an awesome movie. But yes.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like messing with you.
I see that. I actually have no idea what I'm going to say next now. Hey guys, welcome to the Amateur Otaku podcast.
Good.
Isaac and me are finally here. We're ready to talk some Attack on Titan. I hope you guys got our announcement a little bit ago in the weekend that we were not doing Ghost in the Shell 2 as a Women's History Month movie because it is a male protagonist-led film. The movie took us for a spin, so we're going to find a different kind of movie with a great female lead that we can cover in honor of Women's History Month because we thought it would be nice and special to do something like that. And apparently Ghost in the Shell wasn't the one. So whenever we actually reschedule to do that movie, we will let you know because we were still going to cover it because it was an awesome film. But whenever we pick the film that we're going to use as our homage to women and stuff like that, then we will let you know as well so that you can catch up and celebrate with us in the month of March. But now, here, this Tuesday, beautiful Tuesday afternoon, almost evening in Sweden, we're going to talk about Attack on Titan because, excuse my French, holy shit is going down in the anime. And it's going down in the manga. So this episode is going to be nuts. We're going to talk about the latest 2 episodes of the anime, which is at Chapter 71, Guides, and Chapter 72, Children of the Forest. We're going to be talking about that. And then in the back end of the episode, we will be talking about Chapter 138 of the manga, which is the second to last chapter of the entire Attack on Titan story by art by great manga creator Hajime Isayama. So there's a lot to talk about in this episode. So it's going to be three parts. We're going to talk about episode 71. We're going to talk about episode 72. And then we're going to go into manga spoilers. So whenever we get to that point, we will bid farewell to all those people that are anime only watchers, because we do not want to spoil what's happening in the manga right now to you guys. And if you guys love what we do here at the Amateur Otaku podcast, please hit that like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and make sure you click on the bell for notifications so you do not miss any video, you don't miss any stream, you don't miss any Attack on Titan coverage, Promised Neverland coverage, and our weekly episodes where we cover an anime or movie. Also, I do want to announce that later today, we're going to have a second stream where we're finally going to cover Weathering with You. We're still not sure what the time is going to be yet, but stay tuned because we will show you the time very soon because I still have to watch it. But Isaac finally got his hands on a copy, and we're going to talk about Makoto Shinkei's amazing 2019 film, Weathering with You, and we're really excited about it. So, Isaac.
I will admit, I got a bit teary-eyed when I got that copy in the mail.
I know. It took a while. Well, you still haven't gotten a copy for Two Heroes, right?
Nope.
Yeah, I can see how
still not
you
available here, but
yeah.
Oh, well,
you being able to get you having a hands in front of me on that one. I can understand it can be emotional. 100%. I can understand that. So, also, if you love listening to the podcast, we will be putting new episodes on the podcast very soon. And the podcast is available everywhere. On Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Radio Public, Stitcher, wherever podcasts are found. Go tune in and listen to our episodes in our archives. We're almost at 60 episodes, Isaac. That's actually pretty awesome. We're doing it. Okay, so Isaac, without further ado,
good thing it wasn't 70-1 because that would just be weird considering a certain chapter.
Oh my god! So we're gonna start, Isaac.
I know no boundaries. I know.
That's oh my god! So chapter 71, guides. The first of the latest two episodes. This is the episode where I think the proper terminology, I think the political terminology is this is where shit hit the fan, right? So we've been talking about all the little things that are brewing, and last time we spoke, we talked about how dissension is brewing in the middle of the in the middle of the scouts and all that stuff. So now we finally know what's going on. So there's a revolution broke out where a group of scout recruits have killed
Zachary. They started to drink a lot.
No. Isaac, you're skipping episodes.
They got the high and... Yeah, okay, yeah.
You're skipping episodes. Isaac?
Oh, right.
Pull it back a bit. Just a little bit. Not too much. Just a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's episode 72, Isaac. I know you're excited. We got to go in steps here. Baby steps. Titan steps. Cart Titan steps. No, that's a lot of steps.
How is baby steps and Titan steps the same thing?
Well, if the Titan is a baby. No? Yeah, that's dark. That's very dark. Can you believe? You know what? Let's talk about that real quick. How is it that we've seen Titans, right? But most of the times that we see are adults. We rarely see like kids become Titans. And like we've never seen a baby Titan. I think it's like one of those lines that Isayama's not going to cross. Like we will not see a baby Titan. which would be unusually dark. Which I'm glad. No baby Titans. Hashtag no baby Titans. Okay, can we talk about the episode?
Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. No more.
What is love? Okay. And
Okay, this is derailing hard.
I know, and you're doing nothing about keeping it within rails. This episode is even more amazing, and we're not even talking about the anime, and you're just pushing us against this. Damn it, Isaac! That's not well, actually that is what you're here for. I'm gonna try and do this again. Can I try now?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, just don't drink too much Jaeger.
Ah. You know what? Now I want to watch Attack on Titan while having a bottle of Jägermeister just right beside it. And every time I see Eren or Seek on screen, I take a shot of Jaeger. Like, hey, hashtag Jaeger brothers. Yo, we can do okay. Damn it. Okay, Isaac, I am not planning drinking games while I'm trying to run a fucking podcast. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, see, now I'm cursing. That's not nice. I'm trying to run a fucking podcast. Okay, so chapter 71.
Dude, I have like a sailor on a couple of episodes. You're fine.
No, but the thing is we're 13 minutes in and we haven't even started talking about the freaking episode. Okay, we need to do this. We're supposed to do this, Isaac. It's our job, our desire, and our colossal. Okay, so that was bad. Chapter 71.
Yes, it was.
Chapter 71 guides. So shit hits the fan strongly and the shit spreads everywhere when oh my god. Okay. I got this. Isaac, I got this. Okay. So, as you guys
No,
know from
you
the previous
don't. But keep on going.
as you guys know from the previous episodes, there's been some dissension in the midst of the scouts. And apparently, Flock has been telling people that Eren is the next savior for Eldia, and Eren has been held captive. And apparently, nobody knows what to do with Eren because of what Eren's done. But we know that Eren is in there by choice. And we know that Eren is planning something, hence why he's not talking to anybody. And we knew that all this was brewing, especially in the last couple of episodes. Zeke has been retreated to the forest, and he's being held captive by Levi and a group of scouts. And Levi just looks at Zeke, wanting to kick his ass, but he can't because it's his job to just watch over him. But Zeke is just reading books and enjoying coffee and enjoying nice insults from Levi. Because again, hashtag Lethal Weapon: The Adventures of Zeke and Levi. I need this in my life. Isayama, are you hearing me? Okay. Or Levi and Zeke, the junior high years. Give me something. um, yeah, fan fiction, really bad. So,
Agreed.
so in this episode, shit hits the fan, and a revolution occurs. So the first big hit is Zachary, the one man that helped. What was the name of the general of the scouts?
Yeah,
What was
what do you mean?
the one that died? That died. The one that died, and the one that Levi had to choose between him and Armin. What was the name of that commander? I can't think of his name right now.
You mean Irvin?
Yes, Irvin. So
Isn't it Irvin?
Yes, it was this leader, Premier Zachary. He was the one that helped Irvin do the coup d'etat in the previous season to be able to take the royal family out of ruling and give control of Paradis to the military, especially in their war against the Titans, in the war against Colossal and Armored. So he was instrumental in putting the military into power, which was the military structure that was ruling Paradis, and that has been running the shots, especially ever since the anti-Marleyan group led by Seek starting to get in contact with them. So now there's been an attack right after Armin and and Mikasa are pleading to him to go see Eren because they believe that they can convince Eren of helping or convince Eren of coming back. As they leave the office, his office blows up. So he is killed. So the leader of the military Paradis has been killed. So, and then we discover that Eren has escaped and he is being protected by a group and a small army of scouts, and they're led by Flock, and they're all defending Eren as the savior of Eldia. And literally, they've become a terrorist group whom they're calling the Jaegerist. And this is like amazing.
That like to drink too much.
Oh my god! And I love this because for a show that started being a horror epic to now become this political and war drama is phenomenal. You know what I mean? Like very few shows evolve into different themes and conversations in such a way that it feels natural. You know what I mean? Because when you look at the
Yeah.
story that it's gotten to this point, you can tell that the reason it's gotten to this point where it's really a war drama, a drama about the casualties of war, a drama about the cost of war, the futilities of war, or you could even say the nonsense of war to a degree, especially as you go into chapter 72, is is powerful because all these themes of war sprouted from all the mysteries that were planted in the first seasons. It all came as a result as us discovering the mystery behind the Titans. So it was a war drama hidden on top of a layer of a horror epic, which to me is like so smart and so cool because in the middle of the entire story, no matter the themes that they're tackling, it's never not felt grounded. You know what I mean? Like they've kept this grounded
Yeah.
um, sense of responsibility of what they were doing and the type of story that they wanted to tell. And it's worked so well. And to me, that, and to you, I believe as well, because you've read the manga, watching the show and
What?
all,
Do I read the manga? I did not
yeah,
know that.
yeah. Um, having read the manga and now watching the show, the animation, the voice acting, the music, it's so much. It sounds cliche, but it brings that story to life so much more that I feel such intensity that I didn't feel when I was reading the book. You know what I mean? Like when you read the
Have
book, you're
you?
imagining it and it's intense. But now watching the anime, it's like the tension is like my blood's boiling. It's awesome. Um,
Yeah.
and of and of course, we finally got the epic um 17 ab filled Eren because he has like 17 abs. And like even though the regular human being has 6, but he has 17 because he's fucking Eren. When he grabs the jacket and just tosses it around him, it's like, damn. Like that he's not the good guy anymore. Like and even if you were to think he is, like when you see that moment where he's like with his little army and you can tell that he is behind everything that's going on. And we still don't know how much conversation he has had with Zeke, but we're under the impression that they are working together because his words whenever he grabs the jacket is, do we know where Zeke is? Like, take me where, like, we need to find out where Zeke is. And that whole scene, it's so badass. Like, he became from the hero that we were following to the hero that we hated because he was a whiny little bitch to the hero that we wanted to fight with, especially towards the end of season 3, to now the villain that we enjoy to watch. Have we ever witnessed that much character transformation within the same show for one character?
Not that
Because
I can
that's
recall.
right? Like it's been very dramatic because now that is to say that most of the characters that we've seen, there's been character development for every major character, but it's been like little tweaks, like changes of mind or mentality. Like Eren's transformation has been dramatic. And it's been transforming with every season, with every turning of the page, to get to this point where he is this militant leader of this group. And man, what a fantastic story. Um, I do find it kind of awesome how he always has now the Titan marks underneath his eyes. Did you notice that? You
Yeah.
know what? Which I think is a nice touch. I don't know if it's because it may be because he wields three different Titans. Because he's the only one that we've met in the show that wields more than one Titan. Because everybody only has one Titan power. For a minute there, Grisha had two because he had the Founding Titan and the Attack Titan. But as soon as he got it, he gave it to Eren, or fed it to Eren. Get it? Fed it to Eren. I know I'm horrible. Um,
Yeah.
are you agreeing with what I'm saying, or are you agreeing that I'm horrible?
Both.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. But he has three now. So now he's like, and he's an omega. He's an omega level mutant threat. That's what he is. There you go. I gave back the X-Men ball. Why is it a ball? I don't understand. But yeah,
I would rather say that it's a triangle, but
yeah, but nobody ever agrees with you.
and that's why I'm head of the curve.
Ooh. Okay, so Isaac, this episode, do you like the whole revolution angle? Do you like the political tension that's building? Are you okay with not having seen a Titan in almost 6 episodes? Because to me, the drama has been intense and it's been good. And like, I don't need a Titan right now. I like what I'm seeing. How do you feel?
Honestly, it all comes down to execution. If you want to scrape for us, yes, how should I put it? Go away from the title, so to speak. It needs to feel natural and all that jazz. And I would argue that Attack on Titans do all just that, so to speak. It absolutely work, and I have no problem not seeing a Titan or two.
Yeah. I like the one thing I like about it, which is what it's doing so well, is not just that it's moving away from the Titans, at least for now, is that it's handling the humanity of the story, and putting it in the forefront. You know what I mean? Because even if you go to the first couple of seasons where it's all about the horror of the Titans, right? It's all about them eating humans and stuff and all that stuff. What's always been in the forefront is the human element, the human element of struggle, the human element of survival, the human element of fear, the human element of ignorance. Like that has been in the forefront of the story at all times. And I like how in moments like this, all that time that we spent with the Titans, with the fear, with the humans dealing with the situation, has built such confidence into the themes that it evolved into. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because if in the beginning of the series, the human elements were not important and it was all about the Titan battles, then when we got to this point, we'll be like, did we change channels? You know what I mean? Like, did we change shows? But because the human element was at the forefront from the beginning, that's why it's able to just evolve or just change the page and change the pace in the way that it has done it. And I like that it's been doing it very gradually. And now it's like in the last two seasons when it became like, no, we're going to tell this political thriller story. We are going to we are going to go deep into this war drama. And I love everything about it. Also, it does help that whenever we do see a Titan, shit goes down. You know what I mean? Like they've actually not held back on any of the action whenever a Titan is present. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I think is awesome. Now we know what's going on with the Jaegerist. We know that Eren has been released, and everybody's literally setting up Eren as the enemy of the state number one. We know that the military wants to have someone eat Eren because they don't want Eren to have the Fountain Time power because now they consider him dangerous because he's working with Zeke. And they've all been talking about the idea of testing the rumbling and testing the ability. So they're setting the seeds for the idea that the rumbling is something that we're going to see in the show. Now, I like the post-credit scene. Well, it's not a post-credit scene, but the final frame of this episode was perfect because it kind of goes back to something that we've seen. And I think I feel now that it's been like a theme throughout the season. And one of the themes behind the season, I think, has been the idea of you can't trust anyone. Because from the first episode of the season, who did we see at the end? We saw Jean reading a newspaper hidden in Marley, right? Towards the end of episode 3, we saw Eren eyes as he was wounded or pretending to be wounded. Then we have the whole thing with Gabby, that whole thing about she being surrounded with people that she can trust, and people can't really trust her because of who she is. Now we're having all the dissension within the scouts, so you can't trust the scouts either. And now the final frame of this episode is Pike has infiltrated Paradis. So I like how it's become this Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy kind of thing, where like the different fractures of the military. It's actually pretty good. It's pretty cool. And it's all about like espionage and stuff like that. But it's like a very because it's a Cold War thing, so it's a very dry, slow pace kind of thing. You don't go to that movie to watch James Bond. It's more of because you mostly handle it from a political aspect as opposed to an action agent aspect. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
But it's a good film, and it's freaking Gary Oldman. So, Gary Oldman. Everyone. I had to. I'm sorry. I'm ashamed. So
you should be.
I know, but it's an amazing movie, right? The Professional. It's an amazing movie. So, but you see what I'm saying? Like this idea that they've been playing with the idea of trust with people double crossing each other throughout the show in a way. And like the whole thing with Zeke's betrayal with Marley, Pike is now infiltrating. Like it's so good. And the funny thing is, if I'm not mistaken, that final shot of Pike, I don't think that was in the manga. I think that was just in the anime, which leads me to the thing of Isayama wanting to make the anime his definitive version. Like all the little things that he's done, like pieces of dialogue that he's added, sequences that he's added, man, it's been so good. So good. Do you agree?
It's just a prime example of, for example, let's take Bilbo for example. If J.R. Tolkien would have been a part of the adaptation of Bilbo after Lord of the Rings, you could argue that he would probably add Legolas to the movie himself, considering Legolas is a character that he created after Bilbo, and it would make no. It really doesn't make any sense that it didn't. at least heard of Legolas in the Bilbo book after he wrote that. So you can the argument could be made that he is just filling in the blanks of what he feels necessary, and
Yeah.
I think it's
And it's funny. It's funny that you bring that because a lot of people, I think, criticize Peter Jackson for some of the decisions that he made for the Hobbit. And interestingly enough, all that he was doing was making it feel like it belonged in the same universe as his Lord of the Rings movies. That's all he did, and it makes perfect sense.
But that's what I mean with, for example, you can tell when an adaptation is an adaptation is not a reimagination. See another series we're covering bi-weekly, and
Yeah.
this is the way to do it. I mean, you can always as a storyteller, there's always oh, I wished I would have added that. I wished I would add this. I wished that yes.
Yeah.
Or I wished I didn't spend that much time on that, so to speak.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
And this is clearly what he's doing, and without it, speaking as someone that has read the manga, clearly he wants to. He wants to give the definitive experience, so to speak. And
That's
yes,
true.
I'm pretty disappointed in the season 2 of The Promised Neverland so far.
Yeah, especially with all the different changes and crazy stuff that they're doing. But yeah,
But I digress.
but and another point to what you're saying is the fact that Isayama is not discarding anything that he did in the book, which I think is the biggest thing that's going on with Promised Neverland, right? And Isayama did not discard anything. He's just amplifying or expanding because he's very sure of the work that he did. Does that make sense? He's just
Yeah.
moving things around to make it better, and I think he's succeedingly. He is exceedingly succeeding. Like he's been doing an awesome job. Now, I think that's it for chapter 71. Revolution starts. I think we need to jump right into 72. Is there anything else that you want to talk about on this episode?
No, that I can think of.
So, Children of the Forest, and this chapter it was very emotional, apart from tense. Now, I know you can't wait, so say it. Talk about the wine, Isaac. Talk about the wine.
I already used the Jaeger joke in earlier.
I know, but our listeners want you to explain why the wine is a big deal.
Yeah, I don't want to tell that joke so it dries.
I'm not telling you to tell a joke, Isaac. Just tell us what the wine means.
Go ahead. I already done that.
No, you haven't. You know what?
Yes, I have.
Okay, I'll do it. Why do I have to do everything right here and all you do is puns? Is that the way this relationship works?
I don't. You don't do all the things. I chose some of the things to play your nightmares, but
oh, so your entire purpose is to horrify my existence.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. That's what the doctor ordered. So, chapter 72 of Children of the Forest. So, Children of the Forest, this has been a heartbreaking episode because everything comes to a head with the whole Gabby, Niccolo, and Sasha's family story. As we know from previous chapters, um, Gabby and Falco have been hiding out with Sasha's family, and even though the young girl that was saved by Sasha, that's now being taken care of by Sasha's parents, which apparently like run an orphanage, right? Like they're all like orphans because of what's happened throughout the years with the Titans. Um, they uh, they 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 don't know that Gabi is the one that pulled the trigger and killed Sasha, and Gabi still doesn't know that they are Sasha's parents. So it all comes to a head when they all come to eat at the restaurant, right? And they eat this free meal because Niccolo, as we know, he is a Marleyan chef that's been held captive, and he kind of fell in love with Sasha because Sasha enjoyed his food so much. It marked him. No, and it's beautiful because
I was just gonna say some a man's heart goes to the stomach joke, but that would be much too inappropriate.
Well, but you know what's amazing about all this is that I don't recall if the manga explores, like, you know how in the anime it kind of like highlighted very strongly how Niccolo kind of was in love with Sasha because of the food. Like, I don't think the manga is that explicit about it, and I like that it was here. But more importantly, I love how Sasha's death has become one of the most impactful deaths to multiple storylines in the show. You know what I mean? Like sometimes
Yeah.
in animes you have a death that's impactful and like everybody cries, everybody destroys Twitter, everybody wants to kill the creator, but then it dies out. But no, Isayama killed off Sasha, but we are still almost 5 episodes after. We're still feeling the effects of her death in different ways, in different storylines. And that is so brilliant. Like, you know what I mean? Like he didn't just kill her off to because he needed to kill someone off. He used that death not only to break our hearts, but to influence character development on other characters and to influence story wise. Because now it's not just the fact that we saw Eren suffer for it. It's not the fact that we saw the scouts suffer for it, right? Now we see Niccolo suffer for it. And now it's affecting Gabby's storyline. And now it's informing an entire episode about the idea of all these parents that have sent their kids to the world. And because the world is at war, now it becomes how she's a war tragedy, how her death was because of war, and how if we continue the cycle of violence and war, we will continue to see our children die in the forest. And that's like, oh my God. That is like so profound and so brilliant. It's like, I'm not a professional writer, but I think no one can deny that that's like great writing.
Yeah.
I mean, were you able to make all the connections with Sasha's death, like how he's been connecting it to everything? I feel that it kind of went over my head in the manga. But now, especially the way it's being used in the episodes.
Sort of like Sasha is a character that was rather larger than life, so to speak. Always, people were always aware of her existence. You can argue that she kind of put everyone's faces whenever they were around her. So, if he really wanted to get some ramification, so to speak, with the ending of it, prior to the ending, so to speak, were killing someone like Sasha off made perfect sense on that regard.
Right. But it's the idea that knowing that her death was going to be big, Isayama made it a point to make her a plot point, not just an eventful death.
Yeah, that's good.
And that's, I think, it's
And
what's been.
he did that. He did that through the means of how he wrote her as a character.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the other thing. Like, it's how ingenious it is to allow her to live on as a glutton. But you know what I mean? Like, allow her to live on in the memories that like, because at the end of the day, the moments that we know with that we've had with Sasha that we enjoy the most is whenever she's freaking out about food. You know what I mean? So the idea that her
Like I
life,
said, larger than life.
exactly, the idea that her death lives on, and it's related to the
And
things
no,
that.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that she's larger than life in that regard. She's just has a personality that just
Yeah, she's over the top or whatever.
gets attention. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and it's like, and it's also a way of us seeing that Isayama knows his audience. You know what I mean? Like, he knows his fandom, and it's hard to say that that him knowing his fandom or him knowing his readers was not influential in any way in him plotting things in. You know what I mean? Because think about it. Sasha was introduced in chapter, probably, I think it's chapter 4 of the manga, and she doesn't die till like chapter 110. So he knows that people know who Sasha is. People know, he knows that. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those decisions where I wouldn't be surprised if he measured the reaction to the characters, and it wasn't like freaking George Martin that has like a fucking roulette that he rolls, and wherever it falls, that's the one he's killing. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like random. You know what I mean? I think
kinda.
I think he was very meticulous in the way he did it, and I love how he implemented it to the storylines, especially to have that strong, because that was a very strong and emotional moment. Um, Niccolo bursting out and literally almost killing Falco, because the fact that that kid did not die with with him smashing the bottle in his head is beyond me, because he literally knocked him out cold. And the fact that he almost killed Gabby in front of her parents, and that's one of those moments where you see the love that Niccolo had for Sasha, the rage that he was feeling, and the idea that Sasha's father was able to give us, because that whole argument about children in the forest, of use of him as a father sending his daughter out into the forest, into the world, right? And whatever happens in the world, because that's where he goes and says that she was in the forest too long, like she was away from home too long, and how we need to protect our children and stuff like that. That was a discussion for the audience. That felt like a very profound monologue. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't just something to convince Niccolo. Like that, I felt that was Isayama talking to us about how he feels, or sharing a thought about war like that. Which to me was very profound, because many stories are stories like that. That a father says goodbye to their kid, never to see their kid again. Whether it is they send them out to war, just the idea of the forest being a symbol of them sending the kid out to the world. You know, it's it's very deep. Now, right in the middle of all this, Hange, Ainge, Mikasa, Armin, the scouts are there, right? Levi is still in the wilderness, wanting to kill Zeke but can't, and Zeke is just laughing about it. Um, but he says something. He has a fight with Gene and doesn't let him drink the wine. And apparently, some of the wine got into Falco's mouth. And he says, rinse the mouth of Falco because some of the wine got there. And then Hange, of course, freaks out. Which, by the way, there should be another drinking game that we need to take a shot every time Hanges freaks out because she freaks out almost every episode.
That's nothing new. That I should.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's another thing.
No, I wanna find.
You get drunk and you get drunk at the end of the. You don't getting through the first top of the first season with all the chaotic moments.
Hanji-sama. But yeah, and then we find out that apparently this wine has been given to the higher-ups because it contains some of Zeke's spinal fluid. Which, those that know, spinal fluid from Zeke, when ingested by an Eldian, it makes an Eldian a possible Titan. A Titan bomb, literally, that Zeke can activate by the mere act of a scream. That's crazy. So now they're already setting the stage, and they keep going back to Rugako, which is the village, which is Connie's village, and the idea that Zeke has been perfecting this technique of manifesting Titans out of nowhere with his spinal fluid. And now apparently
it has to hurt like hell to
yes,
hurt like hell to extract so much spinal fluid. I mean, Jesus.
Yep. But think about it. He can probably do it and survive it because of his Titan regenerative abilities. So it wouldn't be that crazy.
Comment still stands.
It does. And then to think that there's now
that people who have I know people who have taken spinal fluid test, and they said it is one of the most painful things that I have done, and some of them have and those have had the wearer of childbirth, so to speak.
Ooh, that's bad. That sounds horrible. But yeah, like
so that
the
should
idea.
Say something about how. Go ahead.
I do find it crazy now to think that not only there's a revolution in the midst, where we have the terrorist group known as the Jaegerists that are literally taking control of the entire city of Paradis, right? We also have the whole thing of now there's technically a ticking Titan bomb that could be detonated by Zeke at any time in the middle of Paradis. And most of the people that have drunk the fluid are high-ranking officials of the army, so it won't just turn them into Titans. It will actually break down the entire leadership of Paradis. So it's like, and not only that, after we found that out, we find out that the Jaegerists have invaded the restaurant and have held everyone hostage. And they knew. So this was a plan from Zeke and the Jaegerists because they want to take over Paradis and want to bring Eren and Zeke together. So tensions are high. Things are awesome. I mean, the developments here are just amazing. And that final frame of this episode was... what a great cliffhanger. Because for those that have written the manga... Yeah, for the people that have read the manga, we know the conversation that's coming. But the idea that Eren came in, and he didn't just come into the room. Like, when Eren comes into a room, he comes into a room. Like, he came into the room, and the first thing he did was lift his hand, and you can see the cut in his hand. Not regenerating, not smoking, which means which is him telling, I can turn into a Titan at any moment. So calm the fuck down. Man, Eren is just badass right now. He's just so badass right now. What a great episode, dude. Like, this season has been on point. And it's like, I still find it amazing that even though I know everything that's happening, everything that's going to happen, because I've read it, the animation, the direction, the development, everything has been so good that I'm enjoying every little bit of it. And it's awesome. And it's just so awesome. Is there anything else that you want to talk about this?
No.
Okay. So, without further ado, ladies and gents, this is where our discussion of chapter 71 and 72 of the Attack on Titan anime, the final season, comes to an end. Isaac are going to take a minute break, but we're going to come back and we're going to talk about the manga. So if you do not want to be spoiled on the amazingness of chapter 138 of the Shinjeki no Kyojin manga, this is where you need to leave. This is where you need to say goodbye. So please don't forget to subscribe to the Amateur Otaku podcast. Subscribe, hit that like button, click that bell for notifications so you do not miss any episodes, any chapters, any reviews, anything that we do. Also, follow us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Radio Public, and Stitcher, and join the conversation of the Amateur Otaku podcast. If there's any recommendations that you have for us, please send it to us on the comments below, on our email, amateurotakurtf@gmail.com, or you can join us on Twitter, Amateur Otaku Pod, at Amateur Otaku Pod. I'm the Scarlet Fan. You can find me on Twitter at the Scarlet Fan 52, on Instagram as Scarlet Fan 52, and on Facebook as Brandon Alvarado. And you can find my written works at Wobam Entertainment under the column The Scarlet Fan Presents. Isaac, where can people find you, my brother?
You can find me over at Endlomaniac on Twitter, and you can find my work at the Wobam Entertainment.
Awesome. So we're going to take 1 minute break, and we're going to come back. In the meantime, have it awesome, guys. We'll see you soon. Peace. Isaac, my brother, you there? Isaac, you're there, my brother?
Yeah. Yeah. I not
Okay.
left the computer, so.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with this amazing Attack on Titan coverage, and we are about to lose our shit as we discuss Attack on Titan chapter 138 of the manga. As you guys know, the Attack on Titan manga only has one chapter left, which will come out in April. The latest chapter, the second to last chapter of the entire Attack on Titan story, just came out. Isaac and I have read it, and holy shit. So,
Holy shit. Holy
yeah,
shit.
we need to talk about this. We need to talk about this because holy shit balls and stains. This is wow. I mean, have we said wow already? I'm gonna say wow again. Okay, so last chapter was like the heroes are winning. Armin convinced Zeke to get off his ass, and help bring back all the Titans of old to try and stop Eren. They do this great battle where like Berthold comes back, Zeke's mentor comes back, Grisha, like everybody comes back to help the heroes. They're able to blow up to separate Eren's head from the Fountain Titan. The centipede from the Founding Titan comes out. Reiner is holding it. And the last shot is Armin uttering the words, "Goodbye, Eren," because he literally detonates what we could call Colossal's nuclear ability. I will call it Colossal Blast, but that sounds way too Dragon Ball Z wise. But so we know
I
that
would
Armin.
rather say too much shonen jump, because that could be in any shonen anime.
True. So Armin invokes his colossal titan powers, and we can see the explosion of the transformation, and we are given the idea that Eren has died and that they've won. This chapter picks up with humanity celebrating because the rumbling has stopped. A lot of the colossal titans that were in charge of the rumbling, led by Eren, are starting to like fall down, like deteriorate. Pretty much all the bones from the founding titan, Eren's founding titan form, kind of like disappear and dissipate, and they all arrive to that tower where all the Marleyan and Eldian survivors are. And then we're all thinking, okay, things are looking okay. But suddenly, holy shit. The Fountain Titan freaking centipede is still fucking alive. And then you hear the words.
Do we really know? Correct me if I'm wrong, but do we really know what that centipede really is at this point?
Well, in my understanding, what they've told us is that is pretty much the entity that latched to Ymir, which made her the first Fountain Titan. So that's the source of the power, right? To a degree, or the source of what started the Titan things, right? And apparently, the centipede starts moving because it didn't die, because it's a survival thing, right? Because it's like a high-end species or whatever. And the centipede starts running towards the mountain, and it lets off a gas. But that's not the crazy thing. The crazy thing is that when he lets off the gas, everybody says, this is just like Ragako. And we all know what the village of Ragako is. And then, out of nowhere, you see the gas from the centipede. And then you hear a flash. And out of the dust, Eren comes back as a colossal titan. Which is like, what is going on? Eren comes back as a colossal titan. And he looks badass. And like, I don't know if this is evidence that he has mastered the power of the founding. The fact that because here's the thing, we need to understand, we've seen Eren in 3 different Titan forms. We've seen him in Attack Titan. We've seen them as the Fountain Titan Centipede or whatever the fuck that was. And now we're seeing him as a Fountain Colossal Titan. And it's like, what? And not only that, because of what the centipede did, it literally transformed every single Eldian on top of that tower into pure titans. Connie became a titan. John became a titan. Gabby's parents, Annie's dad, every Reiner's mom, every single Eldian that was left alive became a titan. And they all became the pawns of Eren and the founding. And they come to attack Annie, Pike, and all the others. And that was like, holy shit. And it's like, we just lost everybody. The only people that are still alive are Falco in the air, Levi, who is almost dead, but still alive. Out of all people, Levi's still alive. What the fuck? I mean, he's a badass, but damn. Levi's still alive. Mikasa is still alive. Eren is technically kicking Armin's ass because the last punch that we see Eren give Armin, he practically blows his fucking head off. And because the centipede is now controlling, which we gotta assume that the centipede at this point is like an extension of Eren, I would say. It's literally leading hundreds of pure titans, and they're ripping Annie, they're ripping Reiner and Pike apart. Like, you see titans like ripping Reiner's mouth and whatever, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, is everyone gonna fucking die in this thing? Like everyone? Like everyone! I mean, dude. Like, and you know that we were talking about the idea that Isayama likes to like turn everything on its head?
Yeah.
Holy fuck, what a way to turn it over everybody's head. Like, this was like...
Literally.
Like, oh my God. It's nuts. What does it mean? Because everybody's dead now. And then if they're not dead, they're a titan. Like, they can't turn back into human form unless they eat another pure titan. And you know what's the crazy thing about all this? If they kill Annie and one of those titans eats it, does that mean that Eren has that power? You know what I mean? Like, holy fuck. Like, what is going on? What is going on? And the funny thing is that the centipede or whatever the fountain, whatever that is, has not latched on to anybody else. So it has to be working with Eren. You know what I mean? It either has a mind of its own, but I feel that Eren is in control of that centipede shit or whatever the fuck that is, because it feels that it's working in the same team as Eren. So it has a mind of its own, or it's being controlled by Eren, or it has become an extension of Eren or something. which is funny because it makes me think. Listen to what I'm going to say. So, well, before I say that, we need to talk about the ending. Are you ready for that?
I kind of called it.
So the reason Isaac is saying that is because he had a feeling from the beginning that Levi was gonna kill Eren. But I do find it poetic that yes, it was an Ackerman that killed Eren, but it wasn't just any Ackerman. It was Mikasa. So apparently, inside the mouth of that colossal Eren Titan was the head of Eren, which I do find it surprising that Eren's body wasn't there. It was just his head. So Eren never recovered his body, which is interesting because every time we've seen, you know what I mean, like a colossal or whatever, you always see the body, but we didn't see the body in this one. But so we see Eren using the power or whatever. Mikasa's there, and Mikasa literally cuts Eren's head from his Titan form from inside his mouth. And the final frame is Mikasa kissing Eren's head, which, you know, you can feel however you feel about that. But with the obsession that Mikasa has had forever for Eren, or love, whatever you want to call it, I am not surprised that she would kiss his severed head after cutting it off. It's like slash creepy, but slash so in character.
I got a bit school days vibes from it, but then again, no, I shouldn't go that far.
Yeah, but here's the thing that
do you even know what anime I'm talking about?
Which one?
School days.
No.
Good.
You're gonna torture me with that later, aren't you?
No, even I don't want to watch that again.
So we see Mikasa cut Eren's head off. And the last thing we see is, for some reason, Ymir is there watching them. So I don't know what the hell is going on right now. Because we don't see the results of Mikasa cutting Eren's head off, right? So we don't know if the centipede stopped functioning. Like, we don't know anything. Now, part of me still wants to believe that Eren's real body is somewhere else for some reason. Like maybe he lives within the centipede in some way. Because we have not seen any of his abilities as the Warhammer, and him hiding his body is a Warhammer ability. But I do find it funny that
Warhammer, but the Warhammer, as far as we know, doesn't have the ability to clone a body.
True, but the Fighting Titan can create anything.
Good point.
So
good point.
We don't know if this is a misdirect, and if it is a misdirect, what the fuck, Isayama? We only have one chapter left. but at the same time, it's like
there could be an argument to say that maybe there is a misdirect, considering the previous chapter was from Armin's perspective.
Right.
This chapter was from Mikasa's perspective.
We haven't seen Eren's in a long time.
This time, next one could be from Eren's perspective. Maybe it's flashbacks. Maybe it's him in the afterlife.
Damn. You got a point, bro. You got a point. And the other thing is this. We saw this big climactic thing, right? But we haven't seen the effects of her cutting the head off. What I don't understand is, why is Ymir there? Why is Emir there looking at them, smiling, all weird? And she's smiling at
because
a woman kissing someone else's severed head. Like, I don't know what's going on anymore.
because it means that the curse is broken.
Could be. I don't know, man. I don't know if the last chapter is going to be an extra long one.
Hopefully.
But here's the thing, though. Think about it. Let's say that this is the end. Like the battle ends here, right? You got to think. There's almost no humans left. There's almost no Eldians left. The only ones left are the Marlians that stayed alive up top, if there are any Marlians that stayed alive.
I mean, to be fair, if this curse really has been erased now with Eren being defeated, shouldn't that them being Titans being reversed and them coming back to being human again? Arguably.
If the founding Titan centipede was linked to Eren and Eren was controlling it, maybe yeah. But here's the thing: if Eren was linked to that centipede, wouldn't he still be alive within the centipede, even if his head was cut off?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, dude. That centipede acted like it was following Eren's orders. That's all I'm gonna say. And that centipede looked like its own entity, like an extension of him to a degree. And it could create titans, which is part why we understand that's the founding titan's power or whatever. And not only that, the pathways still exist. So if the pathways still exist, Eren is alive in the pathways. Because if every other previous Titan user was alive in the pathways, Eren is still somewhere. Even though his head has been cut off, his body is still somewhere. And because the centipede is around, that body could be regenerated at any moment, I think. I don't know, man. I don't know. This is supposed to be the second to last chapter. I shouldn't have questions. I should have answers. Oh my god.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah, I
It's
have
awesome.
heard. Did I mention the idea of Ragnarok similarities to that?
The what?
That it felt a lot like it was going to be. I don't know if I mentioned it a couple of episodes, Attack on Titans episode ago, but it felt more and more like it was going to go Ragnarok on us, and it sure looked like it.
Like the whole world goes into shit and then it starts from scratch? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, technically, that was Eren's plan all along. He wanted to destroy everybody and only the Eldians be the ones left so they can live free.
Yeah.
I never thought I would say this, but I love the character of Eren. Like, I like him now. I got a friend of mine, my friend Jeremy. Every time we talk about this, he's like, Brandon, I'm telling you, I'm Team Eren. Kill those motherfuckers. Like, oh my god. Like, oh my god. But yeah, it's awesome. But what a crazy manga chapter. I mean, there's so much going on. I can't wait for this to end. I mean, this has been a titanic and awesome manga, and I've loved that we've been able to discuss it and that we've been able to enjoy it because it's just so good. Isaac, I think it's time to say farewell for now.
Agreed.
If you guys like what we do here, check out our YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter, Amateur Otaku Pod. And we will see you in 2 weeks as we cover the next couple of episodes of the Attack on Titan anime. Next week, we'll be covering more Promised Neverland. We look forward to seeing you for that. And stay tuned because we will announce very soon where our next recording is going to be. where we're going to be talking about Weathering with You, which is Makoto Shinkei's fantastic 2019 film. Have it awesome, guys. We will see you next time. Peace.
Peace.